Hi, today we're going to be talking about temples. We're going to talk about why they're important, why we have them, why we spend the money that we do on them. So temples are built as buildings here on earth, places of worship. We believe that they are the literal house of the Lord here on earth. It's one of the closest ways you can get nearer to God and feel the Spirit. You can get a lot of spiritual learning from being within the temple and doing some of the ceremonies and ordinances and stuff that are available inside. There are many things we learn and do within the temple. If you're interested, the website for the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints has tons of resources, tons of answers and different things like that if that's what you're looking for. But we're just going to be talking about the construction of the temple today, not necessarily what we do within the temple. Fair also has a podcast that we have been putting an episode out every now and then that goes over kind of temple preparation, if that's also something that you're interested in. All right, a typical criticism that we get as far as constructing temples is why we spend so much money on temples, why we have so many temples. We construct temples because it not only blesses the lives of the members of the church, but also blesses those within the community, whether they are a member or not, and regardless of their economic status. There are some people who have tried to put an exact number on how much it costs to construct a temple, and due to some temples in specific areas and how intricate the building looks and where they're located, things like that, it is assumed that we spend an exorbitant amount of money on them. We have actually simplified temple construction and designs and things like that. It is still a very nice, welcoming, beautiful building that, however, it is much more simplified than it was years and years back. I think it's interesting because if you go to other religions, temples, and other places of worship, they tend to have some very, very nice looking buildings as well. And a lot of this has to do with sacrifice. A lot of this has to do with if you believe that this is God's house, then yeah, you're going to want him to come to a very wonderful place. And you're going to want to feel kind of a proud ownership of it, something that you can give to him. Something that is highly looked over, in my opinion, is when constructing these temples, we're actually providing a lot of job opportunities for members in the community. This allows them to not only help out with construction and church endeavors, but can also help bring home the money for their family and help them make a living for a little while. For members, temples being constructed nearby is a big blessing, as we do believe that we are able to make covenants, we worship God. It helps us learn to be better people within our communities and to be a better neighbor and to love others. And who doesn't want that within their neighborhood and community? Of course, only members with valid temple recommends who are worthy to enter into our temples are able to go in and worship. But we still allow anybody to go on the temple grounds, walk around, take a look. If you go to the Salt Lake Temple, not currently because there's construction, but typically there's missionaries around who can also give you a little tour, talk to you about it. There's other temples. There's a temple in Oakland, California. They actually have an outdoor garden that allows visitors to come and partake of the wonderful natural beauty that God has to offer. And I think that that's also a great resource for community members, whether members of the church or not. They can still take part in such a beautiful place, and they can still feel the peace and the spirit that the temples bring, whether they are able to go inside or not. And I think that that's a great blessing for anybody, member or not. All in all, we as members feel like the blessings that come from temples, worshiping in them, building them, being around them, having one in your area, far outweighs any cost that it takes to construct them. If you ever need more resources or have any questions, again, feel free to go to our website, email us, check out the resources that we have to offer, and of course, check out the church's website. They have everything listed there that you might have a question about as well. As always, feel free to follow.